Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and this video is going to look at the best and worst condition skins in all of CSGO. So, when Valve first introduced skins back in 2013, they added a feature that they thought people would love: skinware. Yep, that's right, they thought people would pay extra for their super warm battle scarred skins, that they just love having some scratch paint on their gun. Now, as it turns out, they were completely wrong about that. People don't really like worn skins much at all. I can't fault the intention, but they were definitely wrong. But it did have an interesting little side effect, because it opened up a branch of high-end skin collecting, and that would be for skins in the best condition possible, or as they're often called, low float skins. Float is a really confusing word for it. Float doesn't make you think of the paint being scratched off weapon at all, but that's what it's called, a float value. And generally speaking, when people talk about low float skins, they generally tend to focus on very high-end stuff, whether it's things like the #1 lowest float Dragon Lore in the world with its very dank meme float, or McSkillet's original #1 lowest float Dragon Lore, now with 4 Iberpower Hollows and a name tag that literally says this if you slap it into Google Translate. Someone who understands Mandarin, please explain what it's actually meant to say. But the thing is, these skins aren't even close to being the lowest float skins in existence. In fact, they're off by a number of orders of magnitude. So here's the #1 lowest float Dragon Lore, for example, and as you can see, there is 4 zeros after the decimal point on the float value. Factory new is 0.07, by the way, so this thing has a really, really low float. Now, see this piece of shit skin here, the M249 Gator Mesh, a boring skin on an unusable weapon? Well, this is the actual #1 lowest float skin in existence. Very humble and unassuming, but look at this float value. There's like 9 fucking zeros behind that decimal point there. And you know what's crazy? It's not even completely clean either. There's actually scratches on it. Look up here. There's literally scratches on this skin, and it's got the lowest float in existence. And I want to make a point about showing just how low the float value on this skin is, because some people might not understand how it works. So float values can range between 1 and 0. 0 is completely clean, 1 is completely worn. As you can see, whether something is factory new or minimal wear or field tested, it all depends on where the exact value is. Now, not all skins span the full range, and in this case, the Gator Mesh is limited to a maximum value of 0.6. Now, in terms of where this skin's float exists in that range, well, it's in the 666 millionth lowest percentile, which is just ridiculous. The odds of getting this dropped must have been absolutely minuscule, and obviously, just because of the way the Gator Mesh is as a skin, the bloody thing's still got scratches on it. I guess it must have been a very low quality paint job. Now, unfortunately, this skin is kind of steeped in mystery, because the owner has his account on private and doesn't really seem to be online much anymore, so I couldn't contact him to find out where he got it from or what its history is. I was, however, able to speak to the person with the second lowest float skin in existence. So this is a list of the top 10 lowest floats out there. The guy I spoke to owns #2, #5, #6, and a couple of others in this top 10. He's a big low float collector. As you can see, that Gator Mesh is significantly lower than the next thing above it. It's almost 10 times lower, but the float on that Army Sheen is nothing to be scoffed at, even if it is still quite scratched in game. I guess that little bit extra on the Gator Mesh must have really counted. Now, the owner of this skin, a guy called QT, really went out of his way to help me, so that was really appreciated. I wanted to find out a bit about the market for these things off him, and he was quite helpful in explaining that. Basically, the going price for one of these really, really low float skins is about 100 keys. Now, that may sound like a lot, but when you think about how much people pay for certain collector's items, like thousands and thousands of dollars, these types of skins are actually pretty cheap. There's not that much demand for them. In fact, QT actually said to me that he's never had someone come and offer him for these really low float skins. So, as far as collector's markets go, this one's probably one of the more accessible price-wise, as long as you don't mind paying 100 keys for some items that are really, really low end otherwise. Now, more generally, QT clarified something that I was already pretty suspicious of. All of these low float skins tend to be either dropped or unboxed. They can never really be traded up for, because that's quite difficult to do. In fact, most of these skins couldn't be traded up for even if you tried. And what does stand out to me is the overall gulf between the lowest float skins that exist and the lowest float high-end skins around. We've already seen what the gulf is between the number 1 lowest float skin ever and the number 1 lowest float Dragon Lore, and we've got a similar gulf between the number 1 lowest float Orion, which is another really sought after low float skin because it's so hard to get unscratched, and once again it's 4 zeros versus 9 zeros on the actual lowest float skin. Although I did notice this in the list of lowest float skins in existence. At number 49 is a USP-S Caiman. Now, a Caiman is a fail outcome if you're trying to trade up for an Orion. This is another one of QT skins, by the way, and as you can see, this one has 6 zeros after that decimal point. Now, I don't know if this came from a trade up for an Orion or not, but if it did, holy fuck, that guy got baited. What a poor sod. But look, if you're thinking that the whole idea of overpaying for some skins just because they've got a bunch of zeros in their float is weird, if you're thinking it's bizarre how I'm getting excited about whether it's 6 zeros or 9, well, think of it this way. These 3 skins have pretty much all their paint on them. Not so with this next group of skins, the highest float skins in existence. So here they are, the top 10, lots of 9s. Now, they do all seem to be in the hands of collectors as well. The top one is on a private profile, once again, but the people below him are definitely collectors. In fact, the guy with the lowest float Dragon Lore actually has number 6 on the list here, and he's got a great username, I have to say. But yeah, so he's got the Ironwork, which is the number 6 highest float skin in the game. It actually looks okay in game, just because of the way the Ironwork's finish works. It sort of fades away rather than scratching away, but the thing about most of these really, really worn skins is that they really look like standard battle scarred skins because all the paint won't come off no matter what. There's still going to be quite a bit left on there. So this elite build, the highest float skin in the game, looks like this. This Black Sand, which is the second highest float skin in the game, looks like this. The Abyss, which is the third highest float skin in the game, actually looks pretty good. I like how this one turned out, but the CZ Auto Twist, which is the 4th highest float skin in the game, once again looks like shit. But you know what? They are still legit collector's items. I mean, these things are unique. I can't take that away from the people who bought them. And is it even really that much more ridiculous than collecting any other type of skin? Not really, in my view. So, anyways, these are the lowest and highest float skins in the game. It's interesting seeing what they are. I'd never looked before. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.